Hey everybody, and welcome to GeekStorm! I'm Sean Hilton, owner of Comics Q, founder of the Kokomo Con, a guy who puts together scholarships and then has people say crap behind his back when he's not around. How you doing? I'm joined today by the fabulous, ever wonderful, luring and beautiful, intelligent, crafty mother of children, Lauren Gray.
Yeah. That's a lot of adjectives. I appreciate it.
Throwing it out there. Been doing some writing.
It's
It's
good.
all coming together. How the kids doing? How's life?
They're doing wonderful. Life is wonderful.
Yeah. You doing any geeky little things lately?
They do geeky things every day.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
They are my offspring.
Well, you and Nick together, I would imagine that's a lot. It's a bundle. It's a heaping bundle of geek under one roof. So.
Yeah.
So I just got back from Origins. I was gone last week.
And that was Origins.
Origins was a really good time. Origins is a game fair, a convention held every Father's Day in Columbus, Ohio. It's reminiscent to Gen Con. If you've been to a Gen Con, you would know what it's like, but smaller, more compact, with a bit more emphasis on board game, miniature games.
Okay.
Origins a couple years ago was on life support. I believe I was there when a doctor actually walked up with paddles and was like, clear! And then today, this last one was the resurrection.
Oh, good.
Phoenix from the ashes. It was crowded. People were everywhere. Sales, I believe, were up. Attendance was way up. I was talking to dealers on the floor. They were selling product. They were selling a lot more product, it seemed. I talked to a lot of guys that had their numbers in past all of last year, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. They had by Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, they had completed their whole last year, so they didn't even need
That's
Sunday.
awesome.
So it was an extra day of money. We saw some wonderful products. In fact, I meant to bring one in. I forgot it, so I'll bring in some stuff next week. Some wonderful Kickstarters. And so do want to give a shout out to a Kickstarter from a group that you and me both know.
Absolutely.
So if you're not familiar, Kickstarter is a way to fund ideas, projects, and in this case, a role-playing game product. And Quantum Black Studios is putting out Quantum Black Book 2, Dark Designs. It's by people right here in the Kokomo area. Scott Jones, who games with us frequently and has some standing at IUK. They're putting it out. It's for people who like X-Files, Supernatural, that kind of thing, with a kind of a Cthulhu, modern horror survival thing. So if you like role-playing games and you've always wanted to play a modern-day survival horror game, Quantum Black is your way to go. They have a current Kickstarter out, and it's very reasonable. I want to say for like 30 or 40 bucks, you get the brand new book, and you can also get a PDF for the original book, which will get you started. So check it out on Kickstarter, Quantum Black. You type in those words, you're going to get there, and you'll be able to check out it. They're like 92 or 93% funded. They are very, very close to having it go, and I haven't pledged yet, so. I mean, I'll probably be the one to push him over.
Oh, yeah? It'll all be you?
Yeah, that's all about me. Check that out. So what do you got today? What do you bring to the table?
What do I bring to the table? I actually want to talk a little bit more about Origins with you. Do you think that the current trend that we are seeing with Gen Con is the reason why Origins is gaining
the growth of
so
Origins?
much traction? Because people don't want to mess with Gen Con. You know, it's sold out. It's turning to sell out this year, too. So do you think that maybe people are like, I don't want to deal with all those crowds. I don't want to have to deal with the cost of Gen Con, with the housing issues,
with some deep thought, absolutely yes. 100%, absolutely, no doubt in my mind. People have told it to my face, yes, yes, yes. Gen Con has grown to the point where it is like watching those bad videos of Japan getting off of work and trying to get onto a subway train. The prices have got to the point where the average person looks at the menu and is like, holy crow, that's $300 for a pork chop. And then you try to get a hotel. Well, you better hope someone you knew died that hit the lottery, because that's the only way you're going to get a hotel in Block anymore. You want to play a game? You want to play a game at Gen Con, a game convention? You want to play a game? Well, good luck, because again, hitting a $50 scratchy ticket's easier than getting into the event you want. But I do point out that in Indiana, scalping's legal. So, you know what? Scalp it up. Our events, the event that me and your husband run together and have for over a decade now, people know us. We have a bit of a reputation for being good GMs who put on a really fun game. Within 2 hours of the event process going live for Origins so you could actually book your games, I had 3 separate private requests to my personal Facebook page to say, hey, we couldn't get in. Can you sneak us in? Can you get us an extra ticket? Can you fill this up? And I'm like, you know, I can't. Because as you know, I'm running games with him. I'm running a few with you. We're putting on some other stuff. So we're so full of running stuff this year that I'm like, but I talked to GM, one of my friends is a GM, who came out and said he's no longer going to Gen Con, he is going to Origins instead. The cost is better, the vibe of the crowd is better, and the ability to actually play games and get into games is so much easier. Now, that said, you know, this is like going to the Indy 500 as Gen Con and then going to your local speedway, raceway thing. You still get to see cars race, but one is a spectacle. You know, one is just getting a picture of that opening crowd at Gen Con is just amazing.
No, it's magnificent.
So your answer?
Yes.
Yes. What else you got?
Some trailers dropped this week.
Did they?
Yeah.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite trailer this week?
Probably Creed 2.
Man, Michael B. Jordan is so hot. And not just physically, because he is a fine specimen of man. But on top of that, him looking good, a big Rocky fan. I love me some Rocky. The only Rocky I don't really like, I think, is Rocky 5. I think Rocky 5 is about the only one that gets left out of my Rocky love.
Your pantheon.
And this really fits. I mean, yes, Rocky has a supporting role, but at his age and what they do with the character as a mentor and his relationship, it works so well. Well, what about the trailer got your attention? What
actually, just because I like the Rocky movies, but I'm not just like, oh, hardcore fan, I gotta watch Rocky today. That actually made me excited to see the movie. Just, I think he is a fantastic actor, Michael B. Jordan. And
he is a hot Hollywood ticket right now.
Just the emotion that he brought to the screen in that short, 2-minute trailer, dealing with his dad. Is his dad proud of him? With the fact that, Rocky, you don't think I can beat him. Like that whole just scene.
That line.
Oh, yeah.
That line really did. And, you got and it's funny because I think Stallone still does an amazing job as Rocky.
Yeah.
And you can tell on his face, he didn't have to say it, but it was like, well, your dad thought he could.
and look at
So,
what happened to him.
The only thing I thought was a little lame, and we have talked about this with Mike before, is the whole aspect of who he's fighting, and the big reveal at the end of the trailer as they show the back piece of his
little
hood thing, his robe. It's Drago. It appears it's Drago's son, so it's son versus son, which is cool and makes perfect sense for a sequel. But on the other hand, it's kind of like it's going back to the well.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to bring back? Because I didn't see in the trailer.
We haven't seen him, but I mean, he's still alive.
Or
he's
even
still
Brigitte Nelson.
I don't know about Brigitte. You never know. Money's money. But as far as I know, I mean, Stallone has worked with Dolph Lundgren on the Expendables and other projects.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
They seem to be buddies, so I could definitely see a scene with those two coming together, and hopefully it would be really funny as if they walk in, it's super tense, and then they both break down kind of laughing, like they've gotten over it.
Yeah.
But
shake hands.
yeah, some kind of silly joke or something, or Drago just says something that's just, odd. So very excited about it again. Michael B. Jordan, hot Hollywood ticket right now, coming off of
Black Panther.
Black Panther's so big. Just won an award at MTV, I want to say, for Best Villain or something like that. Wakanda Forever. I guess his big thing was he came out during the speech and said, "It's time to quit with the Wakanda Forever." Okay, we're glad that you liked it, but Chad Boseman, he can't tell you. He can tell me to tell you. Yeah, okay, we got it.
He's come out and said he wants to do Killmonger again. He'll play Killmonger again. Yeah.
How would he? I mean, you never say never. It's a Marvel movie.
Especially since we have the next Infinity War. Who knows what they're going to do with reality? So
cool. Incredibles came out last week.
Yes.
Have you taken any of the off-screen?
No, that is next week's
Is that
agenda.
an Owen thing? Is it all three kids?
I think we're going to take all three of them. Yeah.
Remind me not to show up for that.
No, we'll go see an early afternoon show.
Uncle Sean, why is that person doing that? So, I saw Box Office Mojo's reporting their domestic take. 1 week, $182 million.
Nice.
We don't know what the budget is. They're not releasing it yet. But like Toy Story 3 had a $200 million budget. I would think that this is a little less because you only have a couple of fairly big names in it, whereas Toy Story you've got a huge cast of names.
Yeah.
So I would think this would have been somewhere around the $160, $180 million budget, but time's also gone by, so who knows. But and that's domestic. There's nothing about Incredibles that shouldn't do incredibly well overseas. So crazy.
Well, it had a huge following for the first movie when it came out in 2005?
10 years?
Oh, was it
more. It was like 13
I don't
years
know.
ago. It was a long time ago. I mean, I've seen memes where it's joking where parents are like pushing their children out of the way to get to it. They're like, you weren't even alive when I saw this in the theater the first time. It was, how many?
14 years.
14 years. What? The producer holds up 1 and 4. I'm like, dude, I don't know what Sesame Street taught you and crap. But that's 5. We could have done it easier just doing that. But I get it now. All right. Except over here it was 41 because of, I'm like, I don't
14
know.
years.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, it's great that Pixar does the sequels and people love them. But as this shows, clearly, even at $180 million, they're not in a hurry. That money is rolling in, so it's not a super huge issue.
One thing we learned from Disney.
So yeah,
Take your time.
Speaking of Disney, though, that then takes us into the Star Wars stuff that's going on and some other Disney aspects.
Will they? Won't they?
You can't get into anything right now, geek culture talk, without Disney somehow popping up. It is like the Chimera of entertainment. You know what? You lock off one rumor, 2 more pop up. Like, whoa! It's like those inflatable dancing guys outside of gas stations and stuff. It's Hydra.
Hydra,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
You know what? Geek card revoked.
Yes.
Sean. Boom. They're also a Chimera.
I had to pull a Harrison at least once.
You have to sniff then.
Oh.
Thank you. So. Chimera constantly changing. Hydra, head say. All right.
Yeah.
No Hydra. Wakanda forever. All right. Give me back some of it.
You're back.
Okay. So, man, all right. So, which one do you want to start? We want to start with Star Wars. We want to start off with buying people rumors. Do we want to start off with whatever sex scandal somebody's involved with that I don't even know about? I'm saying it, but I guarantee I'm right. Somebody's involved in something. What do you got?
Well, that would be the Chris Hardwick part. But let's
is it?
start.
Does he work for Disney?
No,
okay.
you know who doesn't anymore.
They own his soul.
No, let's start with the Star Wars.
Disney Wars,
Yes.
as I've seen people now starting to call it.
That's true.
As they are flipping out. So one of the things I keep reading is that since Disney's taken over, they have floundered the franchise. They're killing Star Wars. They don't know what they're doing. Only Lucas knows how to make Star Wars. Jar Jar, bitch, what? Yeah, good luck editing that.
Well, that same fandom was the one that that made him just not want to do movies anymore.
That is so. Oh, you were so good. You're right. You crushed a man's spirit so hard that he was willing to sell his property to not deal with irate fanboys. And now I've said it before. They built it up. Their little fanboy hearts built it up. I'm a fanboy. We build it. We build it. We build it. We built this beautiful thing. Pull out the spray paint, some sledgehammers. Let's go tag it now. Time to graffiti it up, tear it down. It's going to be the new Detroit and just rip it to shreds. So now they can't get anything right. Nothing's working. After that first movie, everybody seemed to be back in love with it. Then in the second movie, they're like, everybody seemed to also like Rogue One.
Everybody loved Rogue One, but they had issues with Force Awakens and
Solo.
Well, yeah.
The fans, man, I'm telling you.
I've seen a lot of people like Solo, though. For what it was, they liked it. They thought it was a fun movie.
I saw it. Fun action movie. Did you see it yet?
No, not yet.
It's a fun action adventure movie. People just need to get over it.
I would just go see it though, because it's a Star Wars movie, and I think I'll have fun. I'm all for any not solo, but spin-off Disney wants to do.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. I'll watch it.
I would check it out. I mean, if they were to do like a Gaston sequel, where it was like Gaston
From Gaston's
coming up from underneath that mountain, like shrugging it off. It's like nobody takes the fall from a mountain like Gaston and like shakes it off a little bit. I'd watch that sequel.
I want the Lando movie. I want the Boba Fett movie.
I do.
Yeah.
I want an Obi-Wan movie so bad.
Oh yeah, that would
But
be
the one
good
I want
too.
the most, if you're gonna keep doing these new franchises, give me my Dirty Dozen Jedi movie. I want, like, minutes after Order 66, I want a few survivors coming together and being like, all right, that didn't work out so well. It's time to go gray for a while. We keep hearing about the gray Jedi.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking we get the A-team of Jedis who survive. They form a little team, and we get our first, R-rated Star Wars property of them, like, doing horrible, bad things to people who deserve it.
I think the Lando movie would be the first
too.
R-rated.
Lando be big pimpin'. I love me some Lando. He steals that movie. You've got to see it just for Lando.
I love Childish Gambino.
So good.
I'm a huge fan of his.
Not familiar with his work, but I'm on board. I will now go back and watch things that he has worked on before, just because of his.
You should do that, and you should also listen to his music.
Really, I've seen the one video that everybody talks about. Is it all like that? Because that seemed odd.
No, that's complete different offshoot.
Piece.
Each album of his is completely different from the last one. That's why I like it, because the sound changes like all the time.
Very cool.
He's fantastic. He's so talented.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah. Dig it. So then on the other side of Star Wars news, besides the fact that the whole point of all this was rumors going around, Disney was canceling all of their Star Wars projects that weren't part of
the trilogies.
These new trilogies, because there's 2 more trilogies from different directors that were lined up. But the whole Solo, Boba Fett, rumors of
Lando,
all those kind of spin-offs, rumors they're off the table, they're dead, they're gone, we're not doing them. Except now today, rumors popping up like, checks are still cashing, money's still being made, we're not saying no to anything. Disney's not going to back down because, some upset people want to complain that Solo, blah, 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 and social justice is this or conservative that. I'm sorry. Star Wars, unites everybody. So you can't get on board with that. I don't know what to say. You're just a hater. Quit hating.
Well, somebody tried to say, it was from some unconfirmed news source, that the reason why they said this was because it was part of the deal with Fox. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
But
hey, I'm going to buy your company, and I just grew allergic to money. I don't think so. So now the Fox deal, if you're not up on it, Disney has made an offer to buy portions of Fox. Fox News would still stay with itself, but Disney would acquire
and I think
film.
the sports would
I think sports
stay too.
And news stays.
So do they get the television properties as well,
I
too?
think they get television, movies, stuff that's in development, which would also then get them back X-Men and Fantastic Four, sight unseen. But the number keeps going up. It appears they're in a game of money chicken with Comcast. So the last numbers we heard were $74 billion.
And that's the one I thought that they accepted. I thought Fox accepted the $74 billion.
Here's the thing. We keep hearing the numbers going up, but they have investors. So nobody, not one person gets to just go, yes, we cashed the check. There's a lot of things that have to happen. First, the investors, the holders, shareholders, they get a vote. So, I mean, for whatever reason, if they wanted to vote no to higher money and take lower money, they could. I don't know why they would, unless Disney's like, yeah, we're going to pay you $20 million less or whatever, but we're going to throw in stock.
Actually, theirs is 50-50.
Is it?
50-50 stock.
50 stock. You
versus,
know what?
Ooh.
If I'm an investor,
In Disney?
I've
Ooh.
already invested in Disney. This makes me nothing but money.
Yeah.
When Disney screws up solo, they still make money. People can get all the pitchforks they want. They still make money.
And you still have people lining up to get into that Star Wars hotel when it opens next year or in 2 years. Like,
I can only imagine what the first they really should just auction off the first week for charity, because the amount of money that would be raised to be the first one. We're flat off the first person. You're going to be the first family to walk in and get an official room on opening day. We're auctioning that
with
off.
the whole experience. It's unlike any other hotel that they've done so far.
That'll go to charity, and we will just fund a third world country, maybe even a first world country, honestly. France, maybe. That'd be great. But Comcast keeps throwing more money in, and like we want it. The thing is whether you like Disney and think that they're coming for your children, and they may be, Comcast the devil. There is nobody I know that likes Comcast. I didn't know they had that kind of money anymore. I mean, if it wasn't
well, they're
for
part of, aren't they a blanket corporation with like Time Warner and some people? I don't know.
Warner probably.
That's where they're
wouldn't
getting
shock
the
me.
money.
I was thinking more of the Umbrella Corporation. I think that's probably more accurate. I think they're involved with a new virus that's going to wipe out
the T virus.
Yeah. There's just something about Comcast with everybody cutting the cord. The fact is, if they didn't provide me an internet service, which I think is, I guess I could go with AT&T, but I'm not going to do that. So yeah, if Google ever came in and said, by the way,
fiber optic,
we now have our Google service, and it goes so fast that your skin will shred if you touch your mouse the wrong way. You have to just use special mouse, or otherwise the speeds will just electrocute you. I would do that. So Comcast is in, but again, it's investors, and even if the investors vote yes, there is so much stuff involved that I believe the government actually has to approve this deal.
Oh yeah.
Because of
antitrust.
There's just so much crap involved that somebody's going to have to rubber stamp this bad boy. So, but they picked up Marvel for I think a couple of billion. I want to say they picked up Star Wars for $4 billion. They want to pay now like $75 billion to get their hands on.
But they're getting so many properties with that.
Yeah.
$75 billion.
That'd be awesome.
Aliens.
Alien. Oh.
Firefly, X-Files. Like,
so many good things. Give me my X-Files and give me my Firefly hour cartoon combo.
oh yeah.
Put that on Netflix as a power hour, 30 minutes of X-Files, 30 minutes of Firefly, voice work, animation. Yep.
I'm
I'm already signed up pretty much to Netflix for life. I don't see what they're going to do to change that.
Yeah.
The Ranch The Ranch Part 5 has launched. Do you ever watch The Ranch yet?
Oh no.
You've got to watch The Ranch.
None of that. Any of that appeals to me.
You gotta watch it. It's so good.
A ranch and some ranchers and some farm. It
watch
looks
it.
so boring.
What horrible crappy show that you like that I don't watch?
Probably a lot. I don't know.
You pick one, and if you watch 3 episodes of The Ranch, I'll watch 1 episode of whatever your crappy show is. Well, The Ranch is short. She's going to pick something super long for me to have to watch. So,
The Boondock Saints.
that's not a show, that's a movie, and that's cheating. You go straight for my soul, woman. You're evil. That's some succubus crap right there. I don't like it. That's not even fair.
He
I
refuses to.
see Boondock Saints. I will not watch this movie. Now let me be fair. It may be the greatest movie ever made. It has Sean Patrick Flannery, who I love. It seems to be a concept that
Norman
will blow my
Reedus.
mind. But every
Billy
single
Connolly.
person on the planet, dude, you got to see this. Dude, you got to see this. Dude, you're gonna love it. Dude, I can't believe you can't see it. And you get to the point where you're like, No! Damn it! I'm not going to live in that world. Huh?
You don't have to see that movie. You'll hate it.
There, see?
It sucks.
Thank you. And the reverse psychology from Minion 1 is going to work on me either. So I'm not watching any of this crap.
I'm the same way with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, no Willy Wonka.
Confused.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. It's. I'll tell you what this is about Willy Wonka. There's one scene that you should watch, not the movie, and you just meme it. You probably seen it.
Is it the boat scene?
When he takes these kids on a boat ride. That all of a sudden this whole Willy Wonka thing becomes I'm Lovecraft and Poe and Stephen King and you are trapped in a boat with me and nightmares abound. It's like
That is my favorite scene in the movie.
and he's singing like a kid's song. But the entire time you're like, he's gonna murder these kids. He is a serial killer. The chocolate is made with babies. That's what you get out of it. So that is one scene. Yeah, you should just meme the Willy Wonka boat song scene, and that's just wow. It's rough stuff. Mm-hmm. Also in trailers, Meg. Did you watch the trailer?
I unfortunately did, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh no, I was like, oh, Amber Rose, Jason Statham, chasing a shark.
So this book was written like over 20 years ago or something.
I didn't even know it was a book.
It's a novel. I think his name is Stephen Alton.
Okay.
Who wrote it. Could be wrong about that. I read it way back in the day when I was going through my whole giant shark, giant squid phase, Peter Benchley stuff, all that stuff. I love it. And then my wife, who I love dearly, doesn't like to read. She can read. She's not illiterate. She just finds that any time that she can be spent reading can be spent doing other more productive things, which I find hilarious because then she'll read like some magazine on home and gardening, and you've seen my home and you've seen my garden. Not sure that's a good investment, but whatever. But she loved this book. Absolutely loved the book. So, but then they turned around and took the scientific action adventure flick and turned into a Jason Statham, I'm going to karate chop a shark.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. It looks to be just
That's like what, October?
something like that. Yeah, it looks to be just a silly, fun popcorn fest that I am very much looking forward to.
That new Steve Carell movie looked really good
Marwen?
too. Yeah.
I watched the trailer for that because we were linked to it. So Steve Carell, Oscar-nominated Steve Carell, has got a new movie coming out, and I just see so much growth. He does turns around and
absolutely.
he does like a slapsticky funny thing, but then he does something else. Like he just did The Ride or something where they go and pick up like his son's body and like a cross-country trip with old friends. So his agent's been getting him some more, or he's been looking for more meaty roles. Well, this seems to take a little bit of that comedic style, which I think we're seeing more of that in this preview than there probably is, into what looks to be like a serious drama, but then painted into a package that will be more.
Well, it's got fantastic
palatable.
actors in it. Janelle Monáe is in it, and who was the blonde actress? That's his friend. She's in. I can't remember her name,
Wilma.
but I like her a lot too.
Yeah.
I just don't know her name.
So it looks to be he's a fantastic artist in your traditional pen and pencil kind of thing, and then is beaten by skinheads. I mean, they flat out call them Nazis, but it's a modern day thing.
Yeah, neo-Nazis.
So appears to be he gets beaten to a point where he is unable to act out his life in a normal manner anymore. I don't know if they crush his hands or whatever. So he takes dolls, which he then emulates into scenes and makes. I don't know if he's making movies or if he's just doing still shots.
Some of them are still shots because I've actually seen that picture of the one toy soldier with the soldier on his back and he's pointing a gun like this. They've actually used that as a meme because somebody like threw a picture up of it and had like this soldier crossed World War II with all this stuff, and then somebody was like, "This is a picture taken by this artist." But it looks real. Like
It's
he
an
shoots
action
them
figure.
to where they look like they're real human figures in the middle of whatever scene that they're doing.
Gotcha.
But I believe that there have been movies as well that he did.
Very excited to see this whole Marwen thing, and it's supposedly based on a real thing, as you just pointed out. So very eager to see it. It looks really cool. Steve Carell in the previews looks like there's a lot going on. So this week I also got to see a brand new movie.
Well, what?
I saw Hotel Artemis with Jodie Foster.
Oh, nice. How was that?
Dave Bautista. It is a beautiful looking movie. Cinematography, overarching views. The guy behind the camera was doing some great work. Jodie Foster was delivering some pretty good work. All the actors, for the most part, delivering some fine work. The story, woo, Woo, buddy! It was burnt microwave popcorn bag. It was there. It wasn't going away. You knew it. It was convoluted. It was structured in a stupid manner where it felt like somebody was writing their first role-playing game adventure and was just trying to tie things together in a way that would seem cool, but really wasn't. Big, incredibly tense moment. I have to see, because we left halfway through the credits, to see if maybe there was something afterwards that maybe I missed. Because they add in a couple scenes where there's a character that gets brought in. There's a cop that gets brought into the hotel. Hotel Artemis, the idea being bad guys pay a membership in the near future, and it's a safe place, and there's a doctor that can help you, heal up. Well, she recognizes somebody out during this big riot thing that's going on and lets him in, and it's a cop, but she knows them from her past life. So there's all this stress about, oh my God, we can't let her. Dave Bautista is like the helper. No, we can't do it. So finally, they get her fixed up. One of the bad guys does see her, but is like a good guy, bad guy. He's like that, bad guy in a bad situation kind of deal. I'm not some crazy gun happy. So he lets it be known he knows, but then lets it slide. Yeah, she just at the end, all the suspense is built up, all this dramatic, and then she eventually just walks out. The entire time you're waiting for something horrible to happen, and nope, nothing ever happened. Jeff Goldblum has a nice little overly tidy thing involved in the whole story, which brings it back to Jodie Foster's character again. But again, it doesn't make a ton of sense. It's a little too convenient. It felt contrived. It just felt like,
that's too bad.
Smash
It looked like
together.
a fun movie.
Visually, it's still worth seeing. And as I was telling earlier to one of our producer helper people, that when it comes out on video, I'll be interested to see if the Blu-ray contains an entire movie that was cut.
Oh yeah, like a director's
more sense.
cut type.
So yeah, but overall, I enjoyed it quite a bit. So, what would you like to finish up with?
I got nothing.
Okay, so with that, I will go with Roseanne drops out of Her Name and finances. The Connors will be coming back to fall to ABC.
Oh, yes.
Without her involvement, she will not make any money from this because everything is tied up. Like Roseanne, that show is like her. She gets paid. All those characters, all that.
They're calling it a spinoff, aren't they?
They're
like it's a
calling it a spinoff, but I've got a feeling it's going to be an immediate, it's season 2.
like, hey, Roseanne's dead, and
I
then
don't
just
know. That's what I'm curious about. Do they have the balls to actually kill that character off? But if you don't kill her off, then I don't know that.
How do you explain the absence?
She's going on a long vacation without us, and I'm like, what? None of so death is about the only thing that's going to make sense. And they've even got it set up that she was kind of a little bit of a drug user in this last season. Wasn't too crazy, but she was popping some extra pain pills, and she was about to have a surgery for her thing that she was popping the pain pills for. So they've got to wait in the series to actually kick her off the series and get rid of her. But the fact that she walked away from it and allowed them to take her name and take her financials off, though, helps all those actors. It helps.
The
not
crew.
that John Goodman necessarily needs any help, but he's a fine actor, and it was a good show. So I was saying all along, I'd watch it without her, and now I'll get that opportunity to at least try. But we will wait for the backlash, because the conservative backlash will be insane. I can't wait. I mean, Fox is going to jump on supporting Roseanne Barr. I'm sure of it. So I'm waiting for it to happen. And I don't want to come off like I'm all one side and one on the other side. It's just, I just think it's kind of funny that you're going to...
Well, I think on the other side, you might have some people that would watch it just because she's not affiliated with it, and they want to see the other people associated with that succeed just because someone with her political views is no longer associated with the show.
I could definitely see that. Anything coming out of E3 that's on your buy list?
I'm going to buy Death Stranding just so I know what it's about.
Death Stranding?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Yes. You got a 10-minute gameplay trailer with Norman Reedus. That's his character, like it's his facial features.
They just put him in the machine.
Pretty much. And you have no idea what the game is about, what the plot is. He's got a baby attached to him with an umbilical cord, and he's got to deliver stuff, and he's out in the wilderness, and some things come out and snatch him. I watched 10 minutes of the gameplay, had no idea what was going on, couldn't tell you what the game's about.
Wow.
I'm going to buy it just because I don't know.
All right, there you go. So we're going to lead off, we're going to finish off GeekStorm today with Sean and Lauren with telling you this. Norman Reedus, Death Stranding.
Yeah.
That's the game to buy just so we can go WTF.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for checking out GeekStorm. We greatly appreciate it. Remember, none of the views said by me or Lauren that are spouted out of our mouths really reflect the city of Kokomo, the people who make this, or anything else. We just say crap, and then they shrug, and then sometimes wince. There's sometimes some sighing, and they're like, why the hell do we continue to let this happen? But, get two other people, and they can do it too, I guess. Be groovy, everybody.